Hi everyone, welcome back. In our previous lesson, we talked about REST controllers and data transfer objects. And in today's video, I'm going to continue the same project and will implement JWT authentication for our REST APIs. So let's go to our project. And the first thing that I'll do here is I will add two dependencies. The first one is Spring Boot Starter Security and another one is Java JWT. I have already added these dependencies and I have reloaded the project. So let's run the project now. I'm going to navigate to localhost at 8080. And as you can see, we have been redirected to /login by Spring Security. And this is something we are not looking for. So we need to disable or exclude the default configuration file and we need to add some customized modified configuration and filters so our APIs can be secured and authenticated. So I will go back to our code and I will first exclude security auto configuration file. I'm going to create a package for our customized filter files. I've already copied all the customized files and I'll paste it under this package. I'm going to explain all of these files one by one. So let's first talk about JWT authentication filter. So this class extends username password authentication filter and the main purpose of this class is to authenticate a user. So there are two methods that we have overridden. The first one is attempt authentication, and in this method we are trying to fetch user credentials and we are passing them to a constructor which is username password authentication token. So the purpose of this method is to fetch the credentials and pass it on to authentication manager for authentication. So here I'm changing the user to a user entity. So this method is called when a user is successfully logged in. So we have to return a header with JWT token. So there is the creation of this token. So let's go to the security constants class and see what all constants we have defined there. So the first one is secret, an expiration time, a token prefix, a header string and a sign up URL. So as you can see in the creation of this JWT, we have used something called subject, which is the username. The another thing is an expiration time, and this is the algorithm that we have used, and this secret is the salt which is used in the encryption of the JWT. So this header string is the name of the header for JWT. Now let's go to JWT authorization filter, and this filter extends a basic authentication filter, and this class is used for the authorization of a user. So here we have overridden this method to filter internal, where we are getting the header, and if it is a valid header we are passing it to another function, and this function returns a user password authentication token which is then set to security context. And in this get authentication method we are simply parsing the token that we have received in the header of the API request, and we are fetching the subject, which is a username in this case, and we are passing it to the username password authentication token constructor. So the Spring can compare this token with the saved string in the server, and then the Spring can decide whether it wants to reject the request or allow the request. So this is how JWT authorization works. Now let's talk about another configuration file, which is web security. So I will go to web security class. So this web security class extends web security configurer adapter, and it's annotated with enable web security. In the first overridden method of configure, we are disabling cross origin resource sharing and CSRF, because this will be a backend application, so we do not need to enable CSRF and all. And also we are using JWT for authentication. So here I'm permitting all the post method requests, and I'm also permitting the sign up URL because it has to be open so anybody can sign up. Here I'm adding the filters that we have talked about, and I'm also disabling the session. So in this configure method, we are setting a customized user detail service, and we are also passing a encoder to encode a password before storing it into the database. So in this service, we first have to replace this repository with our own repository path, and I will also replace this user with our user entity. Okay, so this user service returns user details of a user based on its username, and here we are setting username and password to the user constructor of Spring Security. So now we have to add bcrypt password encoder as a bean to our main configuration file. Usually this thing is done by Spring Boot, but because we have already disabled auto configuration, so we have to do it manually. So now I will go to the user controller, and I will auto wire this bean, and I will use this bean to encode our password before saving it into the database. Let's run the project. Okay, so I will go to the Postman and I will create a user. Let's change the method to post. So we have to add 3 fields here: a username, a password, and a confirm password. Let's call this API. So this happened because I forgot to add user in the URL. So I'll just append user before create. Now we can see we have successfully created a user. Let's try to get the user details of this user. So I'll change this URL to user/John. So as we can see, we have got 403 forbidden status, which means we are not authorized to use this API. So let's try to log in first. So this login is handled by Spring Boot, and we have already added the filters and customized the other configuration files to support this. Now let's call this API, and we have got status 200 OK. Let's go back to the other tab and let me call it again, and it's still not working. So if we check the headers, we can see there is a header named authorization and there is some token also. Let's copy this bearer token and add this authorization as a header in the get user detail API. So we are able to fetch all the details of the user using this JWT, which we have received after logging in. So this is how we implement JWT authentication. Let me show you the structure of this JWT. If we go to the JWT decoder, so let's go to the Postman and copy the JWT token that we have received in the API. Let's delete the prefix. So as you can see, this JWT consists of 3 parts. The first one is the header, which has 2 keys. One is the type and another one is the algorithm, and the other one is payload, where we have defined the subject and the expiry date of this token, and the last one is the algorithm that we use to encrypt this JWT token. So that was a very basic implementation of JWT, and I recommend you all to download my project from the GitHub. I've given the link in the description, and go through all these filters once again to get a more clear picture of this whole concept. So please like this video and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.